everyone. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. And today we're coming at you live from our studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. On the docket today, we are discussing Binance. Yet another country is saying, bye, Binance. Is Binance in trouble? Also, Melania Trump launches her NFT project.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Also, Celsius has been officially given the green light to convert all their altcoins into Bitcoin and ETH. What is that going to mean for the price of Cardano and Polygon? We have our friend Forrest joining us for Forrest Friday to break all that down. But first, here is your other co-host, and his name is Robin.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. Everyone else claims they bring you entertainment. They even say words like infotainment. It's a lie.
An edutainment.
Edutainment, infotainment, it's all lies.
We Vegas-tainment.
We have vetted the other channels and we have come to the conclusion that they are boring as crap.
Wow.
I was going to say F, but we're going to leave that out.
Wow.
And if you want...
Not all the channels.
We're
going to keep it vague.
If you want that old boring information repackaged up in a fun and sexy way, that's why you're here.
Wow.
That's right.
You know why else you're here?
What's that?
Today's stream is brought to you by channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Technology.
That's right.
We've had some issues on our way from coax to fiber, and if it wasn't for Cam's Blue Wire Technology and their support staff, we wouldn't be able to stream today, and that is the God's honest truth. So big shout out to them. If you want the same things that we're getting as far as support and help, you're going to want to visit their website, bluewiretech.com, or click the link in the description of this video.
Hold it. Wait a second. Did you hear? Elon Musk and Zuck might be fighting in the Coliseum. Did you hear about this?
At Caesars?
No, not that Coliseum. The real Coliseum.
Stop it. In Italy?
All right, here we go. So
here.
Elon Musk last night said some chance fight happens in the Coliseum.
Get out of here, bro.
Now,
what kind of simulation
there is a Coliseum here in Vegas. That's the
Caesars Palace.
The Caesars Palace. So, you know, they have had a Tyson fight there way back in the day. And, you know, it's been a while since the Coliseum has, you know, had its glory days, just like the real Coliseum. And, but, you know, perhaps we will find this fight here in Vegas. And, anyways, if you're not familiar with the Coliseum, it is located, Rocco, where's it located at?
Rome.
In Rome.
Romania.
Also,
Yeah, that's will be. I guess these two they definitely can do a fight in the real Coliseum.
man. This just in.
That's it. I'm telling you, yeah.
The Italian government says they welcome the fight at the Coliseum.
What the hell is going on?
And so, ladies and gentlemen,
we're in a simulation.
We are setting
we are in
the
a
stage.
simulation.
Bro,
We are in a simulation, bro.
okay, first of all,
This is...
if they have the fight at the actual Coliseum,
Are we going?
that's where I was going at. That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah, right.
you know, we got a tour guide, Rocco, and a translator, and then...
Why are you laughing? I can speak Italian.
He can speak Italian.
And then you know, you can't bring it on your carry-on because you can only do 4 to 5 ounces, but you can bring your barbecue sauce with you in your packed luggage.
Thank you.
In your stowaway. And yeah. So
But customs might not let me in. Who knows?
there you go.
Yeah, but the question is, who's gonna win?
And who's going to be the undercard? Raul San Miguel said Robin versus David. That wouldn't be really a match because I would destroy him. Anyways, let's go ahead and bring on today's Forest Friday, the only day of the week where you have a triad of hosts, and that is Fridays, and that is Forest Friday. Rocco, let's patch in, my friend. Forrest, how you doing, bro?
Oh, what's up, guys?
My man got the collar on today. You got a date you going on or a business meeting? What's going on?
No, I got this. This is a very important occasion. Gotta show up dressed appropriately.
Forrest, we love you, man.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for joining us.
So what do you think about the stage being set at the Coliseum for Elon Musk and Zuckerberg's
We're in a
MMA
simulation.
fight?
We're in a simulation.
That's pretty cool. I mean, at the end of the day, Elon's a pretty smart marketer. He tries to keep everyone entertained. He finds a way to stay in the zeitgeist at all times, and yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Okay.
I still think Mark Zuckerberg could check him out.
At first news with this fight, it seemed as a troll, a joke, haha. Is this actually going to happen?
The fight's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen
because I saw, Elon's been training, And at this point, you know, I don't know. I think it feels like it's gonna happen. I thought it was. I thought it was a joke.
Going on? What is going on? I like. Is this what happens when you get so much money? You run out of things to spend it on, so you're just like, okay,
Dude,
Let's rent the Coliseum.
what's rent the Coliseum?
Not much for the 2 nights
let's
at the
fight
Coliseum.
on the moon. Okay,
at
so we're gonna wear a moon. We're gonna fight on the
seriously.
moon. We're gonna create an octagon up there. And
I wouldn't be surprised. Now, since we're all laughing, let's continue laughing by checking in with our president, commander in chief. Now, before we do, typically with an interview, right, in-person interview, when the person is done, right, especially on like cable news, they usually cut to a commercial and then the guest leaves, right? Well, apparently Joe Biden didn't get the memo, and well, he was on MSNBC for an interview. Let's see what the commander in chief had to say and do this time.
Every American, whether they voted for me or not.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's
too.
right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Nicole, I
much.
appreciate
It's great to have
it.
you. It's
Thank
great
you,
to have
thank
you.
you,
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard
awkward is
from
that?
the president. We'll be
hey, dude, probably had to go pee.
That's
man.
awkward, bro. Come on,
He had to
man.
go. What's the problem?
Where'd he go?
He's the president. He can leave at any time he wants.
Sure,
That's
except he
true.
doesn't ever know where he's going. Now, we have some other breaking news. The Supreme Court has struck down Joe Biden's plan to forgive everyone's student loans, including Robin's. So,
Damn it.
who would have thought? You bring up student loans, you got to pay the
I
money.
have been postponing those payments for so long because I just knew they were going to forgive this thing.
There is a life hack.
I can afford to pay it, but I'm just like, hey man, I'm gonna take
Guys,
this free money.
guys.
And I literally have not paid that student loan in 4 years
Guys.
because I'm just like, hey, they're gonna forgive this thing.
Guys.
And now the Supreme Court has stomped on my parade.
There's a life hack. There is a way to not pay it. Okay. How to pay off debt? Well, you just pass away. And so, if you, I'm all jokes aside, but that was kind of fun. One thing to say can avoid is death, taxes, and student loan debt. Now,
And why do you think that's a good idea?
it's not. It's just funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it, Evan?
I don't know. Is it?
Which idea?
Maybe not.
The one
Now-
to pass away.
Yeah. So I want to now on a serious note, okay, and I want to ask you, Forrest. So for the last 3 to 4 years, people haven't had to pay their student loans. So all that money that would have been going to pay for student loans has now essentially maybe become discretionary income. What do people do with discretionary income? They invest, they spend on leisure, on travel.
Here's the thing: if you bought a car and you were just assuming, here's the thing: I don't live paycheck to paycheck, so it's whatever. But I had come to the assumption that I was not going to pay this student loan anymore, and I we start this by joking, but I'm being serious. I have $20,000 in student loans. I'm like, yo, they're going to cancel this thing, so I just stopped paying. Anyways, they're not even charging me interest for 3.5 years, so whatever. Anyways, I'm just like, why not? I'll see what happens. But I have this mentality that, like, if I was living paycheck to paycheck, I would have not accounted for that anymore. And so if you had taken out a car payment and that $300, $400, $500, whatever it is for the student loan payment, if that now is tied up in a car or an apartment or whatever other expenses.
In crypto.
Yeah, no, I don't even just say crypto, but I'm just thinking that there's gonna be a lot of defaults, right? Because if you're forced to pay $300 or $400 and you took out a loan on a car you can't afford, we've heard about the housing being overextended, right? We haven't had the pullback in the housing market in the same way that we have in the rest of the markets. We haven't seen we talk about the credit bubble being at the risk of popping.
Well, here's-
and then the car market, man. The car market. Remember, we've heard about the Carmageddon and all that crap, and so this could be a precursor to that. So,
Well, I was getting ready to ask Forrest a question, then you just hijacked the conversation. But which is what Robin does. So we've grown to love him. It's okay. But Forrest, I wanted to ask, and Rob, I'll ask your opinion.
How about I wanted to say, go ahead, I'm just messing with you.
I'll get your take here in a second. But all that discretionary income, if people are going to have to take money out of their discretionary income now to start paying these student loans off, what effect do you think? And what? No charts, just general, break it down, common sense on a fundamental level. What kind of effect do you think that might have on the the investing markets, specifically more the crypto markets? Do you think it's going to affect it at all? Something I don't really hear people talking about. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, I think it's net bearish, but I think the alternative of just handing $400 billion to, a pretty high earning cohort of college educated people doesn't make a lot of sense and would just, contribute to inflation. So it's kind of, in my opinion, the lesser of two evils. And then also just the precedent that would set for just, forgiving all student loan debt. It just makes no sense at the end of the day. What might make more sense is regulating the university industry so that they can't, extract so much money from it with these predatory student loans. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the lesser of two evils. It's certainly not going to be good for the markets. For me, the main thing that I want to look at, as a signal for potential recession is unemployment rate, because ultimately the S&P 500 has that infinite bid from people's 401ks and retirement plans, and their company matches. And as soon as people start going jobless, they're no longer able to invest in the S&P 500 and the rest of the market. So for me, that's the biggest thing. I don't necessarily know that this would have a high impact on unemployment rate, but it's less discretionary income that ultimately could be going into the crypto market or the legacy market. So it's not great, but I do think it's the lesser of two evils here.
Rob, do you share the same sentiment here? Because you got to figure, right? If they print all that money, inflation. Also, now people have extra money, they start spending, also inflation. You kind of share that same sentiment, or I mean, personal wants aside. You want your student loan debt canceled. But,
okay. So you have the risk of default, right? Because people are spending money and people are spending money or accounting for money that goes elsewhere, right?
Right.
And so you have risk for default. That's why I bring up the credit bubble, the housing situation, and also the car loan industry. But these are speculative. Oh, well, how will these markets perform? Will they pull back? That's all speculation. But one thing it will do is it'll remove money from the system, right? And so volume, volatility, the sloshing of liquidity, the money system is just going to dry up, right? And that's not good for business. And so what's always a healthy indicator of a strong economy is the flow of money and movement, people spending. And if you have less money to spend, if you have $300, $400, $500 less to spend every month, that's less money that's going to go to companies, to retail, to leisure, to traveling. And that is what really spells a recession, right? And if we're going to talk about recessionary fears, and I think that is probably the biggest factor. We talk about, analysts talk about, the commercial real estate market, the credit, the car thing. But I think the biggest risk to all of this is, hey, for a large percentage of young individuals, because remember, old people are just watching their cable television still, sitting at home smoking their Newport 100s, and they're not pumping as much money into the economy. It's the younger individuals, people that have graduated college, that are going out traveling across the country, that are buying this high-end tech goods, and really just the lifeblood of our economy. And I think these people, educated people, are going to slow down.
Just jump in real quick. Those are also the demographics of people who are majority investing in the cryptocurrency markets as well.
Yeah, I just think it's concerning for the overall macro environment. But
you know what else is
Biden
concerning?
did come out and say that, hey, don't worry about it, guys. It's not our only.
I got something up my sleeve.
Yes. Also, what else is concerning is the like ratio. So I call on my fellow viewers. I call on you. Yes, you here watching. Would you do us a favor? Would you like this video?
Look at that smile. What a smile.
Also, we got 10 gifted memberships from Dixie Flatline. So big shout out to you. We have a community that is always giving. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so some not so good news. Then we'll get into the markets here. Couple rapid fire quick hitters. Number one, Revolut US to delist Cardano, Matic, and Solana in September. We also have this headline making its rounds on Twitter. SEC says spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. People are freaking out, but thank you to Eric Balchunas because he actually read the article and said, hold up, this isn't as bad as the headline. The key paragraph is deep in the story. Basically, the SEC wants them to name the crypto exchange and give the details on the surveillance service agreement. That's understandable, arguably good news. I was under the impression they'd have to update that as well. So what the SEC now, of course, the headline is what's going to get people to click. And it's going to get people to overreact. And that is, I believe, when we'll ask Force here in a second, we did see a nasty, I believe it was a 1 hour candle or a 30-minute candle on Bitcoin when this news dropped this morning. But if you actually read it, it's just saying they need more information. And specifically, you're saying you're going to do a crypto exchange. Which one is it? And also give us some more information on your surveillance service agreement. Also, we have this piece of news. So yesterday we talked about North Carolina looking at bringing Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Now we have Oklahoma. They're going to study Bitcoin mining and how it can help grow the state's economy. So a lot of bullish narratives here, guys. Forrest, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on this SEC thing and also the Oklahoma news, and maybe share the Bitcoin chart and if you've identified when that news broke and that candle I was kind of talking about and how people overreacted.
Yeah. So regarding the SEC thing, I think it's actually bullish, and I'll share my screen here in a second.
I was thinking the same thing, dude. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, people are overreacting without reading.
And if people expected the SEC to be like, wow, this spot Bitcoin thing is great, why haven't we approved it yet? Like, if you thought they were going to come out with that narrative, y'all are foolish. They're going to just pretend like it's nothing until the last minute, and then they'll pass it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think the fact that they're even communicating on this is actually bullish. If they were just, radio silent, then that would be actually a worst case. So if we zoom into the 4 hour here, and you can see, I'll actually throw on the long margin pressure levels because we've been talking about those for quite a while. And that's ultimately what's happening here is we've just been ranging between 30 and 31,000. 30K is going to be your psychological support, right? Even number. As soon as Bitcoin's price drops below 30K, the bids come in, the demand comes in. Why? Because under 30K is cheap Bitcoin with everything that's going on right now. But above 31K, you have this big resistance level, because you can no longer go long on 2x or 5x leverage and hide your liquidation points below the last local low and the bear market low, right? So what you see is this consolidation, and eventually, once we break this, I do believe that it'll cause us to move up very, very rapidly. This is just straight up like technical resistance on, when you isolate for leverage trading behavior in the market. So you can see we were actually last night well on our way. We were looking very, very bullish here. We actually took a peek up above this level, right? And then the news that, nasty headline came out today, sent us all the way down to the bottom of the range, below the bottom of the range. Anybody who is trying to flip short has now been taken out as well and been liquidated. Now we've just kind of reverted to the mean here, the middle of the range, the midpoint. So a little bit of an overreaction, but it tells you, a lot of people were looking to bid here. Demand did come in once again below 30K. And now we've just recovered the range. My expectation is that Bitcoin ultimately goes higher, but what we have going on right now with altcoins running hard, particularly Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, because of the EDX narrative, is Bitcoin dominance, right? The Bitcoin dominance is actually tanking pretty hard. Bitcoin dominance topped out at around 52% or so and has now moved down 1.8, 1.9%. And that's simply just that the Bitcoin trade was getting too crowded, right? we moved up into this key resistance level at around 52%. And it's not to say that Bitcoin's not going higher, or that, altcoin dominance is going to rip, or that Bitcoin dominance is going to tank all the way back down. Maybe this very well could have been the Bitcoin dominance high, but Bitcoin dominance has just been trending higher and higher, in that individual trade has just gotten crowded. The idea of like, all right, if you're bullish on crypto right now, if you're bullish on crypto, what do you buy? Well, everything's been very, very bullish for Bitcoin in accordance with this ETF news. But then all of a sudden, you're bullish on Bitcoin, and is Bitcoin the most attractive thing in the market at a 52% dominance, when historically we've seen a lot of volume, just a ton of volume put in below 52%. So I think this is just a normal, the market is in general still bullish on crypto. And other assets as well, but particularly crypto. The market's bullish on crypto, and we're just starting to see a retracement form on Bitcoin dominance, where we're starting to see some altcoin speculation, people wanting to move into Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. Looks like Zcash is pumping as well, 14%. So there's some individual things that really have a strong narrative right now that are kind of getting pumped by this Bitcoin dominance retrace.
Something that's not retracing. You know what? Actually, let me let's do this. Let's take a quick peek at the markets, and then I'll ask you for a few more charts. I think today's a good day to do some extra charts. Lot of price action happening. We got a couple alts that are ripping, but first, let's start here. Fear and Greed Index at 59, just below greed. And I'm actually going to refresh this so we can get the most up-to-date prices. Dark mode. Okay, market cap 1.19 trillion. Volume is up to $60 billion over the last 24 hours. This has been as low as 25-30 billion. But that thing is taken up. Bitcoin dominance, according to CoinMarketCap, is down to under 50%. We did just go over Bitcoin. ETH is seeing a nice rally up to $1,932. XRP kind of holding steady at 47 cents, flat across the 1 hour, the day, and down 5% on the week. ADA can't break above that 30-cent level, but Litecoin up 27% over the day. Solana was ripping. That was up 10% over the last day. And then one more, Bitcoin Cash. It was up 14% last hour. Now is up 25% over just in the last 24 hours. Forrest, and one more thing, and then I'll ask you for a Litecoin chart. You did tweet this. XNO, which is Nano, lagging behind, and also the lowest market cap when you talk. And this is in reference to its correlation to Litecoin. You said Litecoin rips, and then shortly thereafter, Nano will rip. I don't think Nano is ripped yet. Can we look at that?
Just real quick, I just want to give just a quick second intermission here, just to give a little shout out to the chat. Chat, first of all, is a little quiet today, so let's get a Ola train going. So I'm gonna be the first to drop an Ola in the chat. Let's see if we can get over 100 viewers here. Let's see if we get 100 Olas in the chat. Beat that Sin City drum. Now, if you're new here, say hello so we can drop an Ola back at you. We do have a few new people. And let's go down the list here. We got Old Stool, Trayson, Julius San, Gabrielle, Mellow Cat, Algo, Brad Gabriel, Irvin, MKK, Derek for Reals, Karaja. We also have Cameron, Crystal, Seth, and Jason Mack. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Robin, the king of timing. Now, Forrest, before we're so rudely interrupted, just random. That's why we love Robin.
I got to shout out my people, man.
That's why we love Robin.
Got to shout out my people,
Robin,
man.
It's okay.
That's it.
It's okay. You do your thing, my friend. I'll just make sure to
100 Olas in
log
there.
mental notes of when you interrupted me so I can pick back up where I left off. Now, Forrest, we take a look at Litecoin, what that's doing. Has it hit resistance yet? And then talk about this Nano you tweeted about. If it hasn't happened yet, what's your setup look like? Maybe give us some alpha on that.
Yeah, so I want to be super clear that Nano is a very low cap cryptocurrency at around, I believe, a $90 million market cap. So this is a higher risk play. This is more on the degenerate side, just playing correlations here. We see the Litecoin chart, the Litecoin line chart here in the white. and we've got Nano here in the typical candlesticks, right? So when Litecoin, so the main thing here is that this is within the digital cash narrative. These are predominantly kind of like proof of work coins that don't have smart contract functionalities that are actually pumping right now because nobody's worried about them being securities. Also, they were launched a long time ago. So Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash pumping super hard is also just bringing up, and I'll actually show the kind of the spaghetti chart here where you see Bitcoin Cash leading the charge, Litecoin following behind it, right? And then you have like Zcash coming in today with a pretty solid pump. You have XEC, which is eCash. So this like entire like non-smart contract network digital cash narrative right now is what's getting the attention, right? Because we're seeing Bitcoin, the Bitcoin trade get crowded. Money wants to rotate off into alts, but it doesn't want to rotate into stuff that's going to be at risk of being called a security. It doesn't want to rotate into stuff that's getting delisted from Revolut. It doesn't want to rotate into stuff that is going to be sold off by Celsius or Robinhood. Right. So what does that leave? That leaves this kind of digital cash narrative of like old dinosaur coins that is right now, at least, a couple of them, eCash, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash are just ripping. And I think this is just a temporary capital rotation. I don't think that these coins are necessarily coins that you want to be holding for a super long time. Bitcoin Cash, I think what's going on with Bitcoin Cash right now is that you have a lot of your typical traders that don't really believe in Bitcoin Cash as a narrative in the long term. They're just shorting Bitcoin Cash, and they probably just keep getting liquidated by either retail or whoever, market makers accumulating Bitcoin Cash to list on EDX, or speculators, whoever that may be. And this is just squeezing higher and higher and higher. And now Litecoin's starting to follow. So this is a spaghetti chart of a basket of these coins, and you see what's lagging behind, and what may catch a narrative, may or may not, right? Well, there's no guarantee that any of these catch a narrative, but at first it was just Bitcoin Cash. Now we're starting to see Litecoin participate. Now we're starting to see eCash participate. We're seeing Zcash up like 14% today. Right. So that tells me that this basket of cryptocurrencies may see a bid, and what hasn't seen a bid yet? Well, one of the lower cap ones is Nano. Now, full disclosure, I'm long Nano right now. I'm not sitting here trying to pump my bags. I'm just, the reason why I am long. We saw Litecoin here in the white line chart, Litecoin pump from $50 over here all the way up to $82 in a very short period of time. And it was at a period of time when the rest of the market really wasn't pumping, right? So that was a pretty massive pump. And what happened? Nano, just for the duration of this initial bottoming pattern, Nano just kind of bled off. And then all of a sudden, shortly after, I think it was about 12 to somewhere between like 10 and 20 hours after Litecoin just started ripping, you had Nano pump from 54 cents all the way up to $1.50, 178% pump. So it's a high risk, high reward trade in that, maybe it doesn't pump, maybe it bleeds off, maybe people get liquidated, maybe Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash crash before Nano has a chance to take off. But this is such a low cap cryptocurrency that fits this narrative, that is also a dinosaur coin that is listed on Binance, listed on Kraken, listed on Qcoin. So it's extremely accessible to people trying to rotate into this trade, that we potentially just get a 50-60% squeeze up, or maybe higher. It was just 50%. That's coming back to these, not getting too crazy here, just coming back to these most recent resistance levels, this range high at 93 cents. I mean, from where we're at right now at 70 cents, that's a 33% run. And I just don't think that that's unrealistic. And I think, there's potential to go higher. But the pattern is simply correlation with Litecoin, correlation with the digital cash narrative, and these dinosaur coins that are available on exchanges across the board, but also they're impervious to the securities FUD right now. They're impervious to the Celsius sell-offs and the Robinhood sell-offs. So that's why I think this coin in particular could do well. Again, full disclosure, I am long. So, high risk, high reward. Not saying that this is going to work out, but that's my reasoning for getting into that trade. I traded it last time. That example that I showed where Nano pumped to $1.50, I participated in that. And that was because for the same reasons. That was because Litecoin was ripping, and there's usually a high correlation between Litecoin and Nano.
I think it's intriguing to get these trade setups prior to them happening, because all you ever hear is after the fact, right? I was long here. I made this much money on this one, but to be able to show people before it happens why, how, I think it's very important. To get people to understand and to kind of see that process, and it's not just like, oh, here, look how much money I made over the weekend. Now, speaking of making money over the weekend, well, over the last day at least, the crypto bubbles, some big gainers again: Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XEC, which I believe, it's eCash. So we have Zcash and then we have eCash. So ZEC and XEC, those are both up over 15%, with XEC being up 58%. MakerDAO is also up, and Pulse Chain is up as well. And then we have some DeFi coins here, Aave and Compound. Now, let's move on from here to there. And there is the Trumps are at it again. They are single-handedly holding up the NFT market. Trump family's NFT endeavors continue with Mrs. Trump, Miss Melania Trump. Did we just go offline? Miss Melania Trump, launching her newest collection, the 1776 collection. Now, why is 1776? Robin, why is that year so important? Let's see how good your history is.
Is that...
When the U.S. got its
independence?
independence.
Got its independence?
Independence Day.
He's big on the numbers. Like, he has that, was it 42?
45.
45? Yeah.
45,000, because he was the 45th president.
Yeah, that was his NFT thing. It had that everywhere.
So the Trump family is at it once again, making waves in the NFT space. Melania Trump has now unveiled a new set of NFTs. These digital collectibles, inspired by the upcoming Independence Day holiday, are part of the 1776 collection. Well, what does that look like? Well, here's what it looks like. Some pictures here. I guess here you have the 1776, and here you have the USA and gold and bronze and this and that. And also,
Those are whack, man.
it is going to be on Solana, guys. Solana, and I don't know why this isn't pulling up, but you can connect Phantom Wallet, any other Solana wallet, but also you can pay with credit card like it did last time. Rob, I want to ask you.
They're ugly, though, man.
I know,
But you know what?
They're gonna sell
You
out.
know what? They work. I feel like the demographics of people that are buying this, I feel like this is the same marketing company behind the telethon back in the 90s. I don't know if you were under 35 years old, you might not know what we're talking about. If you're over 35 years old, back in the day, they used to have commercials that would run for 2 hours, and it'd be a telethon. Yeah. And there would be a host over there talking, selling some kind of product, and there would be a team of 20, 30 people behind them working the phones, selling things like this, or a toaster oven or a panini press or something stupid like that. And very reminiscent of those days, or maybe some kind of like fancy silver dollar.
Rob, what are your thoughts, and what are the implications that this being on Solana?
It's interesting. I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you need to have it on Ethereum? If you're going to be charging credit card, right, to purchase, and then you get, what is it, just like an email code they send to you
Forrest
minting?
I haven't minted one. Forrest has, so we can ask him what that process was
Have
like.
you minted these, or just
No.
in the Trump ecosystem? When do these mint?
Good question.
We'll look into that.
So these are already live. She's only sold like a couple hundred, I think. I'll be shocked if they sell out. This is something, though, that I could see maybe like we're a year deep into the bull market, a year and a half, 2 years from now, and then these just randomly catch a narrative and just skyrocket. I'm not saying that I think that's going to happen. It just like wouldn't surprise me. This is the kind of garbage that like you only see pumping in like a crazy, crazy bull market. To be fair, it's only selling like 3,500 of them, and selling that like at times $50, that's like $175,000 raise. So there's worse NFT projects in the ecosystem that have raised way more than that. I'm not participating in these. I'm not buying them. I just don't think they're going to end up doing well. It seems kind of weird to go through all this effort to raise 175 grand.
So what do you think it could be then?
A test net for it's a test net for launching NFTs on Solana ecosystem
I was
per the Trump team.
If it's odd that they would go through this for 175K, then why?
Yeah, maybe they would expect royalties. Maybe they're that strapped for cash. I don't know. I think maybe this is like Rob just said, kind of like a way to test out Solana. And maybe Trump will launch NFTs on Solana. I don't think more Trump NFTs is bullish though, because he's already got like 100,000 NFTs out there. It's way too diluted. We'll see. This could just be a company though that could start launching celebrity NFTs too. So maybe it won't be Trump based. Maybe it'll be this technology. This front end will be used for other celebrity NFTs in the future. Who knows?
Well, we had a big push of celebrity NFTs last bull market, and that is subdued now. Yeah. And I haven't heard much of anything. And so, are we going to rekindle that? Because a lot of what is pumped in the past is kind of cycling back. We had the meme coins. We've had a resurgence in DeFi as well. We've seen the likes of Aave and Compound pumping recently. And so it seems like we're going through that DeFi summer again. Now, there's that. Are we going to see the celebrities get back in NFTs? Is this a precursor to it? Because, hey, man, I feel like people are chasing the high risk play. And for me, nothing spells high risk more than a YouTube star that has nothing to do with crypto that also has energy drinks launching a NFT project.
Oh, are you talking about?
No, I'm just throwing out random scenarios. But if all I'm saying is that don't be surprised if Kanye's dropping an NFT project here soon. Don't be surprised if I think Kim Kardashian's out, right? I think after her
the SEC
getting
left
sued,
a bad taste in her mouth.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these high profile celebs getting back into NFTs, and I think the high risk plays is what the markets are looking for, right? People were hungry for it, and they were willing to dump all of their capital.
Bunch of degenerates.
Yeah, they were willing to dump all their capital. All of a sudden, all the YouTubers who were like, hey, don't do anything stupid. Buy, set your capital on the side, wait for the pullback, DCA. All of a sudden, everyone's all like, hey, the next meme coin, we got the turkey coin. I'm like, it's not even November. Why are you talking about turkey coin?
Yeah.
So
you leave the turkeys out of this.
Guys, I have a quick question. What about if you can NFT being used for campaign contribution? Let's say now you buy an NFT for $50, and then a year from now they sell for $5,000 each, and now you contribute. Can be a loophole?
Okay, there's the oldest NFT for the exact thing that you're saying was the I voted sticker, right, or I donated sticker, and. So you would go down to the campaign office, you'd write a check $1,000, you leave with a sign for your front yard and a sticker. Is this much different? I mean, honestly, I'm not even trying to be funny here. You get a sticker you can throw on your Facebook, because those are the people that are donating or buying these, are people that are active on Facebook. And you get a sticker you can throw on your Facebook. And it's basically a confirmation that you donated. And yes, this isn't going to a campaign fund, but I could see this ramping.
That's how it worked? I thought it was you just went and voted and they gave you a sticker.
No. I'm saying, yeah. I was just giving you an example.
Okay.
You don't pay to vote. I get that. But I'm just saying that you can go down to the campaign offices and donate to them, and they'll send you home with a basket of goods saying that, you support Trump or whatever it is.
And now you can donate $1 million. If you want to know.
Yeah. And if you donate $1 million, they'll still give you little thank you stuff. They'll give you little trinkets. And here is a trinket. And I could see that playing off. I could see, hey, donate to hear me out. Here comes we're in election. We're in the election era where every other commercial on TV is about the candidates, and I can see a scenario like, hey, donate to this candidate and receive a I support X candidate NFT, one of 10,000 or something. That's coming, man.
I agree, because you get those emails and you get the website. Visit the website and it asks you to donate $25 or $50 or whatever the case may be, and it's like people are like, okay, sure. Would people be more prone to donating money if they're getting something in return, something they find value, something that tells people, like Robin said, I donated to this person, because people love recognition. That's interesting. I do want to move on from this to this. Celsius Network greenlighted to convert all coins into Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is sourced from CoinGape. Bankrupt crypto lender Celsius Network was given the green light to start the liquidation of all non-Bitcoin and non-Ethereum altcoins into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, according to the bankruptcy judge, the embattled lender may sell or convert any blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Okay. Now, what does this look like? Well, this is from John Cole at John Cole 23. So here are the holdings, and I want to ask Forrest. So, Forrest, you did previously on our stream a while ago share a resource that you're able to put in a dollar amount or a token amount, and it'll tell you how much that affects the price, whether it's a buy or a sell side. Do you have that resource available for us so we can tell the people watching when these get liquidated, what kind of effect it would have on the price of these tokens?
Yeah, sure. So I'll share my screen here. Got Matic pulled up. You're just looking at the liquidity, like the buy sell liquidity. Look, the thing with these is that most of the price downside is due to people freaking out and selling in advance of this, right? Because they don't want to sit through the actual forced selling. So I believe, what was it, like 50 million in Matic being sold?
51 million, yeah.
To move the price 2%, it's only going to take 22 million, right? And I don't have numbers on, what the 5% bids are, what the 10% bids are, but most of the liquidity is going to be within a 2% range most of the time, or at some key support levels. So ultimately, the actual 50 million in sell volume for Matic, it can be absorbed by the market without tanking the price more than 10%. But what tanks the price more than 10% for Matic is that everybody doesn't want to sit through a 10% drop, so they sell beforehand, predicting this, and you get a huge crash, right? And then you get the forced selling at the bottom. This is very reminiscent of ultimately the Ethereum chart. One of the things that was so bearish about, or why we got such a huge spill off with Ethereum, was because you had this like stake force selling and everybody was freaking out, and you had kind of your compression of everyone trying to get out before that forced selling, and then you had the actual forced selling, and then once you got through it, we bounced back quite a bit. So I would expect that once we get through the sell event for Matic, going to the Matic chart here, it's actually pretty messy. Once we get here through this forced selling event, and who knows, maybe we go down, maybe we take another leg down when this actually happens. But I would expect a strong bounce back like we saw for Ethereum after its forced selling event. Same thing with Matic here around that same time. So you get a big spill off beforehand because everyone's just freaking out. So yeah, it's tough to say exactly how much this is going to affect the price, but the market has already tried to price it in to some degree. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we did get another spill off for Matic. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we don't. But
if we do get a sell off, right, where's our first stop as far as support?
Yeah, so let's throw on the easy bands here, which are starting to turn downwards again. Now, note that in a forced capitulation event, this is, people are not selling based on support and resistance as much, and the market becomes irrational. So you can definitely go below the easy bands here. But initial stops, let's also throw on our short margin pressure levels from, my opinion would be a really good buy. were a buyer of it last time, you made a lot of money on the ride back up.
I like making a lot of money. And so 50 cents, guys, that is the level to take a peek at. I know the other one was Cardano, but it's significantly less. So I don't know if it's worth it to look into that. But just to show this, you guys, so about 26.2 million in Cardano, 17 million in Chainlink, 14.3 million in Litecoin. You got some Polkadot, Aave, BNB, all the fun stuff. So just keep an eye on. And I kind of agree with Forrest. People overreact to headlines. People overreact without really understanding what's happening. And a prime example is the whole ETF story that Wall Street Journal put out. Everyone retweeted it and said, "Oh, it's not happening, no way." Blah, blah. But if they would have taken the time to just read the article, they would have seen, okay, headline's a little misleading. They just want more information. Actually, it's bullish. And so same thing is going to happen here. People are going to see the headlines, Matic to be liquidated, Cardano to be liquidated. Oh my God. But people aren't going to take the time to really go look, okay, well, what kind of impact is this going to have on price? So these are the things, these are the reasons why you educate yourself, you tune into channels like ours, you listen to people like Forrest, you get their opinions, and you make the correct decision based on your personal performance preference. Now, let's talk about Binance. So Germany now has rejected Binance's bid for a crypto license. So they hate on Binance. The looks like the want to get Binance out of the crypto markets is continuing, not just here in the US, but overseas as well. German regulators have told Binance they will not grant it a crypto custody license. Now, just to give you some background here, problems have been mounting for Binance in recent weeks. Last week, Belgium essentially told Binance to leave. France has been probing Binance. Binance has decided to leave the Dutch markets. Binance also lost their European fiat on and off ramp yesterday. Obviously, we know what's happening here in the US. Forrest, I asked Robin this question yesterday, but you weren't here yesterday, so I'm going to ask you today. Is there any doubt in your mind that there is a coordinated effort to get rid of Binance and to expel them from our space? And what would that look like? What would that mean for the crypto markets? Is that a net positive, net negative? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think Binance is going to go out of business because of this, but I do think that there is a coordinated effort to squeeze out the incumbents and make room for the Vanguards, the Fidelities, the BlackRocks, and make crypto and Bitcoin a little bit more institutional. At the end of the day, if they all come in, then Binance overnight, but let's just assume that they don't pressure Binance and they just allow Binance to operate freely, but they all jump on board, all these major asset managers, and Bitcoin becomes institutionalized, ETF is approved. Then overnight, Binance becomes one of the most powerful institutions in the world, and I doubt they want that to happen. And they'd become one of the most powerful institutions in the world because they own so much crypto and they have so much market share. So I really just think that they're trying to squeeze Binance as much as possible as they enter the market. How much they'll be able to squeeze them is uncertain, but I don't think Binance is going out of business.
What would that? But obviously they're probably going to lose some dominance, right? Some market share, some dominance. Is that a good thing? Do you think? I think the number was 70% of the volume comes from Binance. Now you can argue how much of that is wash trading, whatever the case may be. Does Binance have too much market share? And is it a good thing if some of that gets dispersed, whether it's among other crypto exchanges or some TradFi coming into the space?
I'd say I'm neither for or against that. I don't have a strong opinion either way. I know that's kind of the boring answer. At the end of the day, do you want Binance to be, have a monopoly? No. But the other players coming into the space, EDX being backed by some large players, BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, Citadel, they're not squeaky clean either. So I don't, necessarily trust them any more than I trust Binance. So yeah, I think it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I don't trust anyone in this space with my money, to be quite honest.
Okay. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think that You guys think that Binance has too much market share and it's good that it's maybe getting diluted a little bit? Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no. I do think 70% is too high. I do think they have too much market share. They're their own, in some instances, they're their own market makers. It's been proven they have bots or accounts that trade against their customers. They know their customers leverage the word I'm looking for, leverage positions and their liquidation points. Okay. And we know they do wash trade. So we can all agree that's all not good for the space. And so I'm not saying Binance needs to be shut down. I'm just saying to disperse some of that market share and that volume that Binance has, I think is a good thing. Competition breeds excellence. I say that all the time. Speaking of competition, Coinbase threw their hat into the L2 ring earlier this year. Well, apparently their mainnet is going live soon as Coinbase's layer 2 Ethereum solution Base gears up for mainnet launch. And apparently we're having audio issues. And so we're working on fixing that here. But in a blog post published on June 29th, the team behind Base, which is an ETH layer 2 blockchain incubated by Coinbase, outlined their robust security measures in preparation for their upcoming mainnet launch. Base is built on the OP stack in collaboration with Optimism. Base is developing an open source monitoring tool called Pessimism to provide prompt notification of anomalies in the protocol and network. Furthermore, Base is building a smart contract security scanning tool to help developers reduce chances of writing a security vulnerability in their contracts. Interesting. Developers can use this tool to quickly and easily scan their contracts and get results from multiple open source vulnerability detection tools, including their own proprietary secure trait analyzer. Now, I beat this drum 24/7, Dre, Snoop, and Devin. Now, if you're an OG hip-hop listener, you know what I'm talking about. But all jokes aside, I've been saying you got to break down the barrier to entry. And for Coinbase to introduce something like this pessimism protocol or the availability to, as you're writing code, for a program to let you know, are there any vulnerabilities? I mean, I feel like that's a pretty awesome feature to have for us. What are your thoughts? Does Base have an actual chance of being viable in our space?
Yeah, I mean, I think Coinbase has the resources to compete with with other layer 2s and attract a lot of TVL, and I think that'll ultimately probably rolls up to the Coinbase stock price. I don't think that they're launching a token. I haven't heard anything about a Base token being launched. Also with layer 2s, at the end of the day, these layer 2s don't actually need a token aside from maybe a governance token. But as far as gas fees, these layer 2s can all use Ethereum. So it's a super, super competitive space right now. And you have a lot of these layer 2 tokens that have high emissions. So it's not, you do have an Ethereum improvement proposal coming out that does play into this layer 2 narrative. But it's not something that I'm super excited about, not something that I'm personally trading. But yeah, I think Coinbase will successfully onboard a lot of TVL. I can see a lot of, I call it DeFi, but it'll probably be some hybrid of DeFi that is somewhat centralized because it's on a Coinbase layer 2. I can see a lot of TVL flowing into the Base layer 2. But yeah, bullish for the space overall. I think we'll see a lot of TVL flow in. It's a very complicated. It's very difficult to know exactly where money's going to go in this space. I think there's a strong case for layer 2s. I think there's a strong case for some other layer 1s as well. But overall, this is good to see people innovating in the space.
Awesome. Can't disagree with anything you said. Now, Forrest, I want to just ask you just a general question, okay? So first of all, are we officially in a bull market? I don't know if I've asked you this question, but I've asked someone on the show. I wasn't know if it was you. Are we in a bull market?
We're in that awkward in-between space where people are asking that question. And a lot of times when people are asking that question, the answer is yes, but we can't really confirm it until later on. If you recall, everybody was, when Bitcoin crashed down to 30K, everyone was like, initially when Bitcoin crashed down from 60 to 30K, everyone was like, oh, we're in a bear market. We're in a bear market. And then it ran back up to 69K. And it crashed back down to 30K again. And people started asking that question, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bear market? It's impossible to know when you're kind of at the beginning of it. I think it really is impossible to know with 100% certainty. But the fact that people are asking that question, I think, is actually pretty bullish. That means that the trend has reversed and we are in a bullish trend. Whether or not we're in a full-on bull market is going to be difficult to know for sure. At the end of the day, altcoins are still very, very much down. We've got Solana at $19. You've got Avalanche under $20 as well. So it's hard to make the case that we're actually in a full-on bull market when some of your major altcoins are still so far down. I would probably say we're towards the tail end of a bear market rally, and if not, then maybe Bitcoin ramps up and gets sent to $42,000 to maybe $50,000, and then we do get a really strong bull market, bullish trend, or we just kick off early compared to last bull market cycles. I think all of that's realistic. What I do see is the trend of urgency from institutions to rush into Bitcoin right now and rush into crypto. And I think that's the strongest case to be made for a bull market right now kicking off, is that there is just a very, very clear urgency among some of these large asset managers to get into Bitcoin. And that to me is very, very bullish. So whether you classify it as a bull market or a bull trend, I think is, semantic. The trend is your friend. And I do think that we are in a bullish trend.
And I think we can all agree. If you don't think we're in a bull market, we're close. We're at the doorstep of a bull market. Now, Forrest, what are you doing, or what would you recommend people to do to prepare for a bull market? Whether that's from a psychological standpoint, everyone sees their portfolios go up and they get euphoria. Like, what would be your advice? Maybe this is someone watching, it's their first, they're going into their first bull market. What are some things to avoid? What are some things to keep in mind, whether it's from a psychological standpoint, looking at charts, whatever the case may be? Do you have any advice for the people watching?
Yeah, do a lot of research and adopt the mindset that a dollar right now equals $10 at the peak of a bull market, right? So it's not unrealistic to see 10x's across a lot of these altcoins, which are still down. I do think that we very likely get a full-on bull market in line with the next Bitcoin market cycle, as we've seen the last 3 market cycles. I think it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I would not recommend over trading, but I do think that the time for accumulation of altcoins, it has come. I think we are now 9-10 months outside of the halving. That's close enough that you can grit your teeth and hold through 50% drops here. Like if you're buying Solana today at $19 and it drops to $10, drops to $10, you can buy more, right? You can buy more at 10. Whereas, if you're buying it at $100 and it drops to $10, then that's rough. So I do think over the next 2 quarters is the most ideal time to be just accumulating altcoins with the intent to sell next year, 2024, 2025, as they rip back up. So I would urge patience. I would not expect if you're accumulating, let's just say Solana, if you're accumulating Solana between, $10 and $25 right now, I would not expect it to just rip overnight to 50 or 60. Maybe it could, it's certainly on the table that we see, a big altcoin pump here. But I would urge patience, be willing to sit in some of these altcoins for a year before getting too itchy. And I would urge a lot of research as well. Just pay attention to what you're buying. What are the emissions? How is this something that's being adopted? Is there solid marketing behind it? Who's buying it and why? And what are the risks associated with that? So I think
that's great advice. I have some as well for the people watching. For me, I think now is a great time leading into the next bull market to sit down and take a look at your portfolio. If you wanted more exposure here, or you're like, okay, now it's time, like now is the time. If you want to rotate any alts into Bitcoin or into Ethereum, identify which ones are your long-term holds, which ones you got in because the price was just so cheap and you plan on selling for a profit. Identify those. Identify the levels you're going to start taking profit. And I would recommend, of course, none of this is financial advice. I would recommend, instead of scooping everything out at once, waiting for, okay, as long as I can get to 200, I'm going to sell everything. Ladder your way out. So if 200 is your end goal, start taking some out at 140, then at 150, 160, 170. If it dips back down, guess what? You can buy in at a cheaper price. So sit down, take some time before the FOMO kicks in, before everyone, the retail and everyone's so head over heels over crypto. And it's hard. It's hard to fight that feeling of FOMO, okay? I've been there. You've been there. It's hard. And so we understand when our emotions are high, we're prone to make mistakes in our financial decisions. Now is the time to sit down, look at your portfolio. Okay, what do I plan on holding no matter what? Like, I believe in Cardano. I believe in what they're doing in Africa, the digital IDs. And I plan on holding this project for the next 10 years. Bitcoin, I plan on holding it for the next 10 years. This coin I accumulated because I want to sell. This is the time to do that, gearing up for the next bull market, and try to stay even keel on your emotions, especially if you're using it as an investment. And so those are just my 2 cents. Also, take these 2 cents and do yourselves a favor. Go follow Forrest on, not on YouTube, but on Twitter, at 00Forrest with 2 R's. He tweets a lot. He also has a YouTube channel, Sistine Research. You'll be seeing more of Forrest here in the next few weeks. And so, Forrest, we love having you on, as always. Great insight. But what I love about you the most is you never get too high and you never get too low. You're pretty even keel, which I think is extremely important when you're listening to people give their opinion on money and financial things, especially here in our space. And so we thank you for that. Forrest, any parting words for us or our community before we let you go?
Thanks so much for having me on. If you want to check out some of the indicators that I use and join the research hub, that's sistine.ai. I think there's a link in the description. Yeah. Otherwise, I look forward to coming on the show a bunch. I believe in July. I don't want to spoil anything, but I believe I'll be filling in late July. And this is an awesome community. I love the Sin City crypto community and appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in.
Awesome, man. We love you also. And so with that being said, since I lost Robin, I'm going to keep you on here for my finger tornado and all of my outro stuff. Speaking of outro stuff, I want to give another shout out to Cam's Blue Wire Technology. Being extra nice because we're literally, as soon as we get off, we're going to be giving them a call. So big shout out, guys. If you own a business and you need to optimize your IT and your network, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. Follow us on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's plenty of ways to do so. Big shout out to our community, guys. Have a great weekend. With that being said, visit the merch store also. With that being said, Rocco. Guys, we hope you had a great week. We had a great week with you. On behalf of myself, Robin, Rocco, and Forrest, we love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you back Monday. Same place, same time. Until then.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.